10,000 believers stood outside the city of Makkah. Inside the city, fear filled every home. The man they once mocked, the man they forced to leave his own city, was returning. Everyone expected revenge. But what happened next shocked the world. Because instead of revenge, he chose mercy. This is not just a story from history. It is one of the greatest examples of forgiveness humanity has ever witnessed. A moment that showed the world what true strength really looks like. The day Makkah was opened, not with anger, but with mercy. Years earlier, the believers in Makkah were weak and oppressed. They were mocked for believing in one God. Some were tortured. Some were humiliated. Families were separated. Homes were taken away, and hope seemed distant. Among them was the messenger of Allah, Prophet Muhammad SAW. Mecca was his home. It was the city where he was born, where he grew up, where the Kaaba stood. Yet the persecution became so severe that he and his companions had to leave. With heavy hearts, they migrated to Medina, leaving behind their homes, their belongings, and memories. But they carried something stronger than fear. They carried faith in Allah. Years passed in Medina. Slowly, the Muslim community grew stronger, but the Prophet never forgot Makkah, not with hatred, but with hope. Then one day, everything changed. The Quraysh broke the peace agreement known as the Treaty of Hudaybiyah. They secretly supported an attack against the tribe of Khuzā'a, allies of the Muslims. It was a clear betrayal. Now the Muslims were permitted to return to Makkah. The Prophet began preparing an army. But this was not an army seeking revenge. It was an army guided by discipline, patience, and mercy. 10,000 believers marched toward Makkah. Across the desert, under the burning sun, they moved quietly together. No arrogance, no pride, only hearts filled with gratitude to Allah. When they reached a valley near Makkah called Marr-az-Zahran, they camped for the night. And that night, something incredible happened. Thousands of fires lit up the valley. 10,000 flames glowing in the darkness. From a distance, it looked as if the earth itself was covered with stars. The people of Makkah saw the lights, and fear spread across the city. Abu Sufyan, one of the leaders of Quraysh, went out to see what was happening. Soon he was brought before the Prophet. Imagine standing in front of someone you once fought against, someone you tried to defeat. But the Prophet did not shout, and he did not humiliate him. Instead, he spoke calmly. He asked, Abu Sufyan, has the time not come for you to recognize that there is no God except Allah? Abu Sufyan paused. Then he said, by Allah, if there were another God besides Allah, he would have helped us by now. The Prophet asked him again, has the time not come for you to accept that I am the messenger of Allah? Abu Sufyan looked at the Prophet, reflecting on years of patience and noble character. Finally, he said, I testify that you are the messenger of Allah. Then the Prophet did something extraordinary. Instead of threatening the people of Makkah, he offered them safety. He announced, whoever enters the house of Abu Sufyan will be safe. Whoever enters the sacred mosque will be safe, and whoever stays inside their home will also be safe. The next morning, history was about to change. The Prophet entered Makkah, but he did not enter like a proud conqueror. He entered with humility. His blessed head was lowered on his camel, almost touching the saddle, out of gratitude to Allah. Soon he reached the Kaaba, the sacred house built by Prophet Ibrahim. But around it stood 360 idols, symbols of years of false worship. Holding a staff in his hand, the Prophet began removing them one by one. And as each idol fell, he recited, truth has come and falsehood has vanished. One by one, the idols collapsed, and the believers proclaimed loudly, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. But the most powerful moment was yet to come. The people of Makkah gathered before the Prophet Siga. These were the same people who once mocked him, insulted him, and drove him out of his own city. Now they stood before him, waiting, afraid. The Prophet looked at them and asked, "O people of Quraysh, what do you think I will do with you today?" They replied with humility, "You are a noble brother, the son of a noble brother." Then the Prophet spoke words that changed history forever. "I say to you what Prophet Yusuf said to his brothers,